Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com, how to easily grout tile. Now the process of tiling a bathroom floor or kitchen floor is actually not that overwhelming. It's actually a very do-it-yourself project. To grout tile, we do need a couple of tools. We need a float tool and a grout sponge. In addition to that, we're going to need a bucket of clean water and some grout. Now you can use the pre-mixed grout like I'm showing here, which works out perfect. This size, about a quart container for a small bathroom, is perfect. Or you can buy the mix-it-yourself grout. In either case, the grout should be fairly thick in consistency and kind of barely stick onto a trowel. Now, what I'm using is a small 2-inch putty knife in order to get the grout out of that small container. If you didn't have a floating tool, you could actually use a plastic putty knife to push that grout into the groove in between each tile. Now these tiles are of course already glued down with thin set. We waited 24 hours before we started to grout. And with that floating tool, I'm just forcing the grout into each one of those grooves and then scooping up whatever's remaining, which can get deposited right back into the grout container. The next process is going to be to start wiping up that grout using just a damp sponge. Kind of use the corner, each corner, to scoop that grout up. You don't want to wipe it around, you want to scoop it off of the floor. Then rinse it out, squeeze out all of the water so you're left with another clean damp sponge, and wipe up some more grout. When you're grouting, you really should only grout a small area at a time, probably no more than 2 foot by 2 foot. Otherwise it just gets overwhelming and it's hard to scoop up all that grout. After you scoop up as much of the grout as you can just use a very lightly dampened cloth just to wipe away any additional grout which remains on the tile. And this is what you end up with, a beautifully grouted tile floor. You can see down at the bottom, these are the ungrouted grooves in between the tiles, yet to be done, and at the top is the finished product. I'll show you one more time. Again, using a putty knife just for convenience of getting the grout out, but again, you could use that as your tool if you had to. We're going to spread that grout onto the tile floor, which is already glued into position with thin set, and then we're going to use the floating tool to force that grout into each groove. Once again, we're only going to cover a very small portion that is easily manageable. And once all the grout is pushed into all the grooves within that area, we're going to use the edge of that grout float to kind of scoop up any remaining grout. We can deposit that right back into the grout container. The next step is again to use that grout sponge to wipe up any remaining grout on the floor. You really don't want this stuff to dry onto your tile. You want to scoop this up before that grout dries. And again, you're going to use the corners of that sponge in a scooping fashion and get up as much of the grout as off the tile as you can, and then just give it a wipe down with a damp towel. And it really is as simple as that. Very easy do-it-yourself tile grouting. Now please check us out on the web at DIYEasyCrafts.com. Be sure to check out our other how-to videos, and if you like this video, I ask that you please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel.